This is the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Scoop Slam Podcast. We're finally back after a month. Unplanned hiatus. But before we get too far into it, we're going to be reviewing Crown Jewel today. We got some trivia and some takes of the week presented by Ryan. We need an ad sponsor for that spot, so if you know anybody, let us know. But more importantly, let's get the introductions out of the way. I am one of your co-hosts. I am Micah, and joining me, as always, the historian of the Scoop Slam Podcast. I'm going to test his history today. It's Ryan.
Yo, Micah. I'm ready to sell my soul to the Saudi government, buddy.
Well, you know what Punk said to Miz. I won't repeat it, but...
Oh, man. Hey, brother, they write me a $50 million check. I'm going over there.
Hey, respectfully, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And, you know, old Punker might be going himself soon, but we'll see.
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
The devil stuff on AEW, we still need a reveal for that.
I don't know. I think it's Jungle Boy, but we'll get more into our theories with that next week. Like I said earlier, unplanned hiatus. We had some rough scheduling issues with me starting my new job. It was hard to meet. Some unexpected life events for both of us came up, and we just weren't able to meet as much. So,
yeah, we're back now, though. We're back.
Yeah, we're back, better than ever. And we're picking up steam in terms of listens and interactions and stuff, trying to get the ball rolling. But obviously that includes actually coming back and recording. So we thought we'd come back with our Crown Jewel review next week. We'll be back with the regular stuff, SmackDown, Dynamite, Raw, whatever we find interesting there we want to talk about, we're going to talk about.
Oh,
and we're going to call a spade a spade.
Maybe a little NWA action. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know about that one. How is the NWA going to have the most embarrassing moment of the year 2 years in a row?
Oh, man. I don't know. The way people were talking about the MJF angle with the quarters, I don't know, man. That's yeah, I don't know.
Could be either or it could be the new edition of Ric Flair.
Oh, hey, I might get a can of Woo Energy, do this podcast.
Oh, Conrad. Shout out Conrad. We're Alabama boys ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, if Woo Energy wants to write us a check, we'll gladly take that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, they could sponsor the Take of the Week spot.
Hey, okay then.
Well, anyways, as I mentioned, we got some trivia today, so let's go ahead. Oh, I hit my keyboard mount. Let's go ahead and get into that. As I mentioned earlier, this is the historian of the Scoop Slam Podcast. So I got you one today.
What we got?
7 minutes.
Oh, my. Oh, it's a big one. Okay.
Kind of. Can you name all of the wrestlers who were WWE/WCW Cruiserweight champions spanning from 1991 to 2007?
Oh, my God. I don't know about this one, man.
I think the way it's looking, there's 79, but I'm sure that's duplicates.
No way.
I'm sure that's duplicates.
Oh, my God. Okay.
There was way more champions than I thought. Oh, God. Yeah, it really inflates when you get around 99, 2000.
Brother, you trying to kill me today?
Hey, well, we got to test it. If anybody knows, it'll be you.
It's going to be a lot of dead silence during this.
All right, well, let's go ahead. I'm going to give you the countdown. Like I said, you got duplicates, and I'm sure there's a couple you can rattle off pretty quick. So, anyways, 3, 2, 1.
Well, of course, we got to start off with the last Cruiserweight champion. That is Hornswoggle.
That's not who I thought you were going to start off with, but we'll take it.
Well, we'll work our way backwards because I don't know if I'm going to get many in the early 90s. Chavo Guerrero.
Okay.
What were you saying?
I was going to say the 91 to 92, there's only 5 of them, and I don't really know that one. So if you don't get those, I'll void those because I didn't even know it was a thing back then.
Does the light heavyweight title, is that the same thing?
I don't think that counts for this test.
Because I know they merged it.
Yeah. I don't think it counts for this one. because I think it would
Okay.
say. But all right,
Okay.
we'll resume now. You got 6:30 left.
All right. Great.
Chavo knocked a bunch off.
Okay. How many did I knock off?
You got 7 so far.
Oh, okay. Not bad. Gregory Helms.
All right. Yep.
Okay. All right. Matt Hardy.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a big one you're missing.
Big one. Rey Mysterio.
There you go.
All right. How many we got?
That puts you at 19.
Oh, not bad. Okay. 6.
Okay. I gave you 2 of them. Okay. Well, then it might be light heavy. I don't know.
Okay.
Did X-Pac actually win the cruiserweight title?
In WCW, I believe he did.
Yeah, but this has him with a reign in 2001.
Oh yeah, during the Alliance invasion, they I think they merged it. He had a match with I forget. I think it was Billy Kidman.
Oh, okay.
But
Well, anyway.
Billy
Hey,
Kidman.
yeah, there we go.
Billy Kidman.
Yep. All right, that works.
All right, Jamie Noble. I know he's your favorite cruiserweight champion of all time, Mike.
Oh well. I wouldn't say that, but he was certainly a cruiserweight champion of all time. All right.
To Jerry.
Yep. All right, you got 32 now.
Oh, okay. All right. Ultimo Dragon.
Yep. There's still one. I'm kind of surprised you haven't got.
Cruiserweight, SmackDown. Did Psychosis win it?
I hope I can spell that. Yes, he did twice in 1999.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh boy.
Yeah, 36 out of 79. You got 4 minutes.
Okay. All right. Trying to think. Am I missing some in the 2000s, or did I get pretty much all of them?
Majorly from 2001 to 2004 you have covered. You have a couple in 2004. A lot. Your biggest gaps are in 97, 98, 99, and 2005.
2005. Dang, man. Oh, Kid Cash.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, that got you one of them in 2005. There's still one big one I'm shocked about.
In 05?
No, not in 05. More in the 90s.
Oh, Eddie?
Yeah, there you go. But that's not exactly who.
That's not. It's somebody else. Jeez Louise. I'm blanking, Mike. I'm blanking.
I know.
Man. Flying Brian? Did he win it? Or was he the?
Yeah, he was one of the 91 and 92 champions.
Oh, okay. Who did he feud with? It was somebody. Dang, man.
What about the Radicals?
Dean Malenko.
Thank you. That's who I was looking for.
All right. Yeah. How could I forget the Iceman himself? Yeah.
That covers you for 96 mostly, except who did Malenko win it from? And then you got 97. Juventud. There we go.
Yeah, Uvi. How many I got?
That puts you at 51 with Hoovy because he won it twice in 2005 and a couple times in 98 and 98.
My God, did he win?
Who did Hoovy have a big feud with?
Oh, Chris Jericho.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, that puts you at 55. You got the majority of 96 through 97, except there's one person that beat Jericho and Jericho won it back from that you haven't got. Then you got 99, 2000, and 2005 are your major years. A little bit of 2004, too. And a minute 40 to go.
Oh, man. Did Shannon Moore win it?
I think so. No, I don't. I reckon not.
Oh, man. Okay. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get this one.
I can't think of anybody you're majorly missing. What about who did Psychosis team with in WWE?
Super crazy.
There we go. Let's try that one.
I don't know if he won the title though.
No. All right, let me see if I can. Who did Chavo feud with in 2004?
04?
Yeah.
I don't know. Brother, I wasn't locked in on Chavo's story arc in 04.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
trying to even think who Malenko beat for the belt.
Jericho?
Well, you already put him in. But in 96, who did he beat to have his first reign? I just watched 96 and I don't even know.
La Parka. La Parka win it? La Parka had to win it, right?
No, I'm not showing him there. 15 seconds. You
Oh,
got any other cruiserweights
no.
you can remember?
No, not at all.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and hit the give up button because we're down to
All right.
5 now. So let's see
Yeah.
who you missed. Jushin Liger.
Oh man, that's what I was trying to think of for who
Pillman.
Brian Pillman feuded with.
Yep. Scotty Flamingo. Brad
Raven?
Armstrong.
Raven won it.
Oh my God, I didn't recognize that name until you said that. I didn't know he won it. Brad Armstrong beat Raven. Then we got Shinjiro Otani was the one that Malenko beat in 96, so I'm sure he wouldn't have got that. Who'd he ever beat? Alex Wright in 97.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Then we got Lenny Lane in 99. Don't know who that is.
I've never heard of that person.
Nope. Disco Inferno.
Disco won it.
I guess. Evan Karagias?
Courageous.
Great. Oh my God. Let's see. Medusa, Oklahoma.
What? No. I forgot about that. They did give it to Oklahoma. That was a parody of
that is.
That was a parody of Jim Ross they were doing. He used to be Vince Russo's like right-hand man in WWE, and he went over in 2000 to help out Russo in WCW. And he started doing a parody of Jim Ross on television. It was really embarrassing and kind of disrespectful to JR. Because he was kind of doing the
Ed
fake
Ferrara?
Yeah, Ed Ferrara, yeah. He was doing the fake Bill's palsy thing, man. It was very tasteless.
Yeah. It's garbage. I've never seen this before in my life, which I guess is for good reason, but still.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that existed. Then we got the artist, Chris Candido, Crowbar, and Daphne. Daphne?
I
didn't know she held
Daphne
it.
won it?
Lance Storm, Elix Skipper, Mike Sanders. That's the most basic name.
Yeah, I've never heard that guy. Is that my 8th grade music teacher?
That sounds what it sounds like. Jacqueline in 2004 beat Chavo for it. Didn't know that happened.
Oh, yeah.
Spike Dudley, Funaki, Paul London, and Nunzio.
Man, I should have got more of them SmackDown Cruiserweight champions.
Yeah, I think Funaki's the only one, and maybe Paul London are the ones that jump off the paper to me. Nunzio I would have never remembered, but I remember that now. The WCW ones, 99 just like the rest of WCW, it gets wild.
Yeah, all the titles were flipping like that.
Yeah, it'd be fun to do World Heavyweight Champion and let you say Jeff Jarrett 20 times and have him fill up the whole thing.
Or Ric Flair.
Oh,
too, man.
Jesus, yeah. Well, anyways, that was the trivia segment. If you did better on it than Ryan, let me know. Send it to us on Twitter. But that was a pretty tough one. So you got 50 to 60 of them, I think.
You stumped me this week. You got me this week, Micah.
It was a tough one, but we'll move on. Before you get into Crown Jewel, I'll let you present your takes of the week that you found, or the month, really.
Oh, my. Well, we'll start with the week right now, because if I cycle through all the monthly bad takes, Micah, this would be a very long podcast. So I'll start out with the AEW side of the street. I got something from Reddit here, Micah.
Okay.
Username Hopeful Southpaw. So thank you for that. Shout out to you. He has a discussion post right here on the AEW official Reddit page. The title of the post is I must be the markiest mark whoever marked because I absolutely love Dynamite this week. He is referring to the Dynamite that happened 2 weeks ago. But he gives a analysis of his thoughts on the Dynamite that just happened for that week. Orange Cassidy versus Claudio was a banger. And Moxley cutting that fire backstage promo has me amped for that rematch. I saw it live at All Out for the first time, and it was glorious. Greatest match I've seen. Going to be tough to top.
Hmm.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We're starting off hot today, aren't we?
The greatest match you've ever seen. Okay. All right, dude. All right, buddy. Oh, he goes on. The running storyline arc of MJF trying to find 3 partners was fantastic. Especially teasing Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt. And then hitting the acclaimed music. I mean, I wish I could watch MJF walk out wearing that pink scarf and strutting like he owns the world for the first time again. I don't know if I'll ever been so gleeful in my life, but that's about as close as I got.
This dude, is he pleasuring himself?
I'm sure I'm sure his hand was full when he wrote that.
I mean, my guy, I like wrestling as much as the next guy, though. I mean, I have a podcast for crying out loud, but oh Jesus, discussion posts should not be for the public.
Oh, he's going on.
I assumed.
He ain't done, Mike.
Let me go ahead and get me one of these. That's a Pepsi, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, all right. Drink up. He goes on to say the interaction between Christian and Adam Copeland was spectacular. And that spear, I thought Christian was going to duck out the ring, but he actually got Copeland hitting Christian with a spear before the Full Gear Showdown, which is going to rule.
I bet your Moxley voice is the way you read it.
That one ain't that. That one ain't that bad, but still, come on, man.
Yeah, okay, I'm on board with that part.
Was it spectacular, though? Come on.
Well, for Dynamite standards, sure.
Okay, he writes about the Willow Sheeta exchange. Would you like to hear about that, Micah?
Sure. I didn't watch it, but sure. I like Willow.
All right. Willow versus Sheeta was GD stellar as well. And I thought for a minute there Willow was going to win. In fact, I thought she should have won last night, but I know that would have been too much hot potatoing of the belt. And I love Sheeta as champ too. She cracks me up with her reactions and her facial expressions when timeless Tony Storm interrupts her.
What did they refer to themselves at the start of this as?
The markiest mark that ever marked.
Well,
I don't know.
At least they're self-aware.
I don't know if this is satire, man. This has to be satire.
I would hope.
I don't know. He writes his feelings down low, and that goes on for another 5 paragraphs. I'm not gonna read all that.
You know that one guy that comes on? I don't know if it's Squared Circle or whatever. I can't remember his name, but he acts like it's real.
Yeah, the Roman Reigns super fan.
Yes, there we go. Okay, thank you. I'm glad you knew what I was talking about.
Yeah,
maybe it is satire like that, but I don't know.
Well, we got 3 more things before we wrap up. Terrible post from wrestling fans of the week.
All right.
The twist on the Sky Blue heel turn was also fantastic. Is everything great on this show, Micah? Are we not?
Do I
gotta get a new TV? Because everything was fantastic, great, spectacular, greatest of all time. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm not watching the same program these guys are watching.
Listen to the owner at the press conferences. Everything's great. This is the greatest run of TV we've done. This is probably one of our greatest pay-per-views ever. We have the greatest roster ever. The MJF, he's great.
Oh,
Everything's great.
everything's great. Okay, so let me get back to this. The twist on the sky blue heel turn was also fantastic. A babyface blue mister? Yes, please. Sign me up to enjoy that. Whoa, hold up now. And we'll likely get Sky versus Julia soon, which will be awesome.
All right,
Everybody enjoys what they enjoy, but not right.
well, you can say some things, but just because you can say them, don't mean that you should.
I don't know. I think you said this on the podcast once, but some people shouldn't have access to the internet.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Oh my, the elite stuff was pretty damn
Oh,
elite.
here we
Weaving
go.
multiple storylines through 2 matches, giving the mogul embassy the belts back caused tension in the group. And Matt Jackson chewing out Kenny to hint a Young Bucks heel turn was just lovely. Just lovely, Micah.
You know them Young Bucks, they're great at weaving storylines, right? They're great they're great at just having one storyline, right?
It was
Let's
lovely
not
too,
forget
Micah.
weaving multiple.
Oh, and this he talks about Tony Khan's announcement.
Here we go.
The announcement was great. Already signed up for the all-in pre-sale, so hopefully I can go this year. So that was a great announcement by Tony Khan.
Okay, this has to be satire. There's no way.
Announcing a show that's happening 10 months from now. That was his great announcement. And this guy loved it. All right.
I refuse to believe this is a real person.
Hey man, this guy loves the product and God bless him, but oh man. These type of wrestling fans I don't want to be around, Mike.
Yeah.
But he goes on to write 5 or 6 paragraphs about how he loves the product. So we're not gonna read all that, but
I think you got the point across.
Yeah, we got the point across. Thank you, hopeful Southpaw. You have won terrible wrestling take of the week. Oh,
well, hold
boy.
on. We got a co-winner, don't we?
Oh, we do have a co-winner, but that's a small post, so we should get through that in a hurry. We got something from the fantasy booking subreddit.
Okay.
So you know this is about to be wild. The username is Eugene 572839. Okay, so thank you for that. Shout out Eugene. Just some random ideas for WrestleMania 40. You ready for this, Micah?
All right, I'm seated at the table. I'm Triple H. I'm hearing him out.
All right, so I assume this is his day one fantasy booking. Some ideas have reasonings, others don't. I tried to do a full match card, but I got stuck. First match he got wrote down is Grayson Waller versus Nick Aldis. You could have. Okay, so he misspells Waller here. He puts Wallet. You could have Wallet be himself and be a prick to Aldis up until he snaps and makes a match between both of them. If they could get what? If they could then get Taylor Swift to interfere in the match, costing Waller.
No.
Basically, no, he writes basically like Bad Bunny last year's WrestleMania.
Oh my God.
Okay, all right.
She's like glitter. You can't escape it. It's just everywhere, and there's no getting it off.
Did you see that guy that asked about Taylor Swift during the last press conference WWE had?
Yes, it's probably this guy.
They don't ask about Phil Brooks, the hottest free agent on the market. Let's ask about Taylor Swift.
This is the state of journalism in 2023.
Yep. Has it ever been credible?
I mean, no, but
Taking
good God.
All right. I'll get through a couple more of these. He writes a fatal 4-way ladder match between DIY, the Street Profits, the Viking Raiders, which Ivar has a broken neck. I don't know if he's aware of that. So he won't be having a ladder match with those guys. And the fourth team he has is the Judgment Day. Just a very long and fun ladder match. No reasoning for it other than that. Okay. All right.
See, that's the problem. That is the problem with wrestling fans today is they pop for the match being made.
Yeah. And, Judgment Day is one of the hottest factions in the company, but let's just have them in a ladder match. Throwaway ladder match for no reason other than it's fun. And then, okay, this one isn't so bad. It's LA Knight versus Logan Paul.
Yeah,
that one's not so bad. I could see that happening. He puts could be for the U.S. title, but I don't really mind if it's not for it. Okay, whatever. He got some triple threat match between Seth, Gunther, and Drew. That one's not that bad, I guess. I wouldn't want a triple threat match. Oh,
yeah.
the last one here. He writes Tribal Combat. Jay versus Jimmy, a bloody brawl in tribute to ECW.
Okay,
bro,
you know
ECW,
what?
No, ECW went out of business 22 years ago, bro. Come on now. Why are we having tribute matches to something that happened 22 years ago?
I was fine with it until he said that at the end. Why does it have to be a tribute to ECW? Why can't it not just be a bloody? Why can't it not just be a blood feud? Did they not have blood feuds before ECW existed?
That's all they know, man. Look at highlights on YouTube, and that's what their references to. Old ECW highlights that happened 22 years ago.
God forbid anybody watched some wrestling before 1995 that wasn't WWF. I mean, just God forbid.
Yeah, but that was the post from old Eugene 572839. So we appreciate that, and you win co-winner of Bad Wrestling Tape of the Week.
Yeah, that was a minor one.
Yeah.
A couple of his weren't bad.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of them are all right, but I'll dive deeper on next week's show. I'll get a better one.
All right. Well, no. The first one was a good submission. Second one, I just don't feel like we could put him on the same pedestal as the man previous.
Okay, all right. He'll win second place then.
Yeah. You get a silver medal, sir.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, speaking of Logan Paul and LA Knight, we got Crown Jewel to review, so maybe we can see how we'll get to Logan Paul and LA Knight, because I also think that's probably where they're going to go, or I think that's the smartest path for them going into WrestleMania. But they started the show off in Saudi Arabia with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. And for this one, or for this show, we're going to do our scoop and slam method that we used to do, throwing it back. Scoops are positive, slams are negative. So if you hear us say, I had a scoop, that's a good thing we liked about the match. Got a slam, that's a bad thing we didn't like about the match. So to start us off, our first show in a month, Ryan, what's your first scoop for Seth versus Drew?
I thought Byron Saxton did a great job as the announcer for the night.
Yeah, I did enjoy him more than I guess I would have expected. I think this might be his best role. They've tried him just about everywhere at this point, but
he's a good backstage interviewer. Yeah, he's a good backstage interviewer too, in my opinion. Kind of like a new age Jonathan Coachman. You can put him anywhere, he'll be okay. I mean, commentating isn't his best, but he's a lot better than Kevin Patrick on SmackDown, which it's not a high bar jump over, but still though, Byron Saxton, he's a good piece to have in the company. He sounded like he was kind of channeling Howard Finkel throughout the night.
That's what I was thinking, especially when Roman won. That's when it was like, oh, okay,
Yeah, not a bad guy to channel right there. He sounded more legitimate than some of the announcers they have. Some of them sound like they're gargling razor blades when they're announcing stuff.
Yeah, like people like her. But Kayla Braxton, she's not my favorite because it just sounds like the voice she puts on is a fake
Samantha
deep
Irvin.
voice.
Samantha
Yeah,
Irvin. Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. Caleb Braxton was the backstage interviewer.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm
Say,
not
go
familiar
ahead.
with him, to be honest with you.
Well, Justin Roberts is bad about that too. Like I hated how he announced John Cena. That always bothered me.
He don't bother me.
Oh man, Smiley Roberts.
Oh, come
I don't
on.
know. He tries too hard. He's a tryhard. I like the other girl they got in announcing for Collision.
What's her name?
She used to be WWE too.
See, I remember you telling me that at Collision. I can't remember her name for the life of me.
I don't know. They all kind of
No.
blend in.
Yeah, anyways, no, it's not important.
Yeah. Can I hit you with a double down real quick?
Go ahead, because I only got one.
Wow, for the whole match?
Well, you know.
Wow, you hate Seth.
Maybe.
All right, so maybe I should just take the reins here then, because I got quite a few.
All right, well, yeah. If you want to go ahead.
All right, crowd was electric for this match. The Saudi crowd came alive for some of the matches, and they were dead silent for a couple too. So it was nice to hear them making noise though on this match. They do enjoy singing Seth's song, which seems to be his main appeal nowadays. Yeah, man, you know how we feel about Seth on the podcast.
Yeah, not a big fan.
No, it's just I don't know. I never get excited for Seth Rollins matches. I know he's a good wrestler, but I just don't. I don't know. He's not the same guy he used to be in the ring. Maybe it's the whole gimmick that I can't get behind. But
Let me back that up. I wouldn't say I don't get excited for Seth in the ring. I would just say I just don't get excited for Seth.
you like his matches?
No, that's what I don't like anything about him anymore.
You're giving
His
up on him.
promos are never like
Good.
that good. Yeah, I mean it's just it's a Seth Rollins promo. His presentation to me is lame. He just seems like a goof, and his matches are never that important. And I'm like, yep, that was a Seth match every time I watch it. Like, and I'm not saying you got to be blown away by every match. We'll get to that later on, but I don't know. It's like some people think that Seth is this just new age Shawn Michaels sometimes, and used to his work was a lot better than it is now. I mean, he's older, but I don't know, man. I just don't see Seth as world champion material right now until he gets a different gimmick.
Yeah, and I think people they hear the people singing his song every week and they think he's over, but is he really over? Does he have great storylines? It's not a good gimmick.
He's just, to me, he's second fiddle on Raw. Is he more over than Cody or Gunther or Sammy?
No.
So I don't like out of the three. Okay, out of the two major companies, we can even throw in Impact if you want to. How would you feel importance, stuff like that?
Oh, you kind of cut out. What'd you say at the beginning?
Oh, I was saying out of the three companies, world champions, let's say WWE, AEW, and TNA. How would you rank?
All right, be a little generous there, aren't we?
Well, you know, it's the turn of the year.
You don't cross the line, Micah? What's going on?
You know. Might have to tune in after the first of the year. But anyways, how would you rank their world champions in terms of feel and importance?
Set at the bottom.
See? I don't even know who the Impact champion is, but I bet he's more important.
I was about to say, is it Josh Alexander? I don't know.
I think he's been hurt. I'll look it up. But anyways, I'll let you go on. But I'm just Seth don't feel like a world champion.
No, he feels like second rate. Like Roman is clearly still the world champion.
Oh,
they just gave, and I hate when they say, "Oh, this is the working man's champion." What does that mean? What is working man's champion? Is he blue collar? Does he have a 9 to 5? What does that even mean, Micah? What is that supposed to mean in kayfabe? Like
I've never thought anything about it because I remember them saying that with the like Intercontinental title back in the day, but I understand
no,
what you mean.
no, but in the Intercontinental, they would say the workhorse champion, not the working man. Like
Ah,
where's the working man? What is that? I
it's a
don't
good point.
I don't know, man. That bothers me. But let's get some positivity here on this match. I thought the side slam onto the apron was really, really innovative by Drew here. Drew impressed me a lot in this match. I'm getting more and more behind him, and I was rooting for him. Really, I was hoping he'd take this title off Seth, but sadly we did not get that. Um, I hit you with a couple more scoops, and then I'll let you go because it seems like you didn't have much for this match.
Mm.
Uh, I thought they worked well together. Believable kick out towards the end. And Sami Zayn coming out to stop Damian Priest from cashing in. Thought that was done really well. And the people of Saudi Arabia were not letting Damian Priest get after Sami Zayn. I thought that was a nice visual.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Yeah, and then my one and only slam for this match, because this was probably match of the night for me. Storytelling is weird with Seth Rollins. Like he has a kayfabe broken back. Yeah, he's running through the whole roster like it ain't nothing.
That's exactly what I was starting to think in this match, is because they harp on it like the entire match. And so then I'm like, okay, seriously, can Drew McIntyre not just backbreaker this guy until he like is paralyzed? I mean, I don't know. I know guys have had like ailments before and still been, but you can't keep going with this like, oh my god, my back is broken storyline for like 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. They lean on it a lot. Somebody brought it up to me the other day that, oh well, they always mention it in Shawn Michaels matches when he came back. But that's different though. That's different. He retired because of the back. So, he had a history of it. Steph, he hasn't taken time off for the back.
Let's also remember that Shawn only won the world title one time after he came back.
That's a crime too. He should have won a lot more.
I mean,
Saved us from the Triple H
absolutely.
reigns.
But I don't know. Yes, they would mention it, but it wasn't like Shawn broke his back 3 months earlier, and then they were like, "Oh, here you go. Here's the world title." Because that's the way they make it sound. Because they never brought it up before the Nakamura feud, and now they just bring it up every match.
Yeah. And supposedly it's a really, really bad back. Yeah, he can get side slammed on the ring apron, which I don't know if you know this, Micah, but that is the hardest part of the ring. That's
Hey,
what they
I've
tell us
heard.
Really?
I
I don't know if they
through the
mentioned it.
grapevine.
I don't know if they mentioned it a couple times, but yeah, I don't know, man. That doesn't make any sense storytelling wise. Selling is a little weird with Seth Rollins right now. Like, did you see Drew kick out of a pedigree too? That was just a transition move.
Yep. Hey,
I don't know about that.
You remember that Zoom call they had with Taker and Shawn and Triple H, right?
Yeah.
They were talking about, oh, well, your finish has been dead and gone, Shawn. And he was like, yep. And then Triple H is next, apparently.
Yeah, it's next. When are we getting the tombstone burial?
I don't, well, they've
No
tried
pun
on
intended.
AEW.
Oh, yeah. What you got? What you got for this match, Mike? How did you feel about Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia?
Well, it was here. I thought the Phoenix Splash reversed into a Claymore was a nice spot.
Yeah.
The match itself wasn't bad. I'm gonna go ahead and move into my slams because I only got 2, and one of them really kind of encapsulates my final thoughts about this match. The fact that they superplexed into a reverse suplex bothers me.
Mm.
I don't like Seth's move right there anyways, where he does that into a Falcon's Arrow, because the superplex is supposed to hurt both guys. Especially when you have a freaking broken back, as we just talked about for 15 minutes. But, nope. Superplex, Falcon's Arrow. I can't stand him.
Oh, man. More than Moxley? Which one you hate more?
Moxley, but
Who would have thought? Hey, could you have told yourself 10 years ago you would hate 2/3 of the Shield?
no. And if you would have told me then that I would have liked Roman the best out of either of them, I would have probably shot you because I always liked Seth.
Yeah, they turned me against him too, man.
He's better as a heel to me. He's like Triple H.
Is he? I don't
I
know if he's
think.
good at that either.
I don't know, man. The Plan B, Seth Rollins era,
Okay.
the Architect, that was probably the best era of Seth Rollins we're ever going to get.
Maybe he's good playing off somebody
Yeah, I can go with that.
because he was best in the Shield and with the Authority, right?
Yeah. I didn't see
So,
anything past the Authority, though, so.
you didn't miss much. He was the King Slayer and he was the Beast Slayer and he whined a lot in his promos. You didn't miss much.
What about Monday Night Messiah? Was that any good?
I don't know. It was during the empty arena era, so you really couldn't get a good gauge on it. And they brought the Authors of Pain in, and Buddy Murphy. I don't know. He had the weird storyline with Rey Mysterio where he took out his eye, and then Rey Mysterio's eye grew back apparently. So yeah, man, I don't know. That wasn't a good era for Seth Rollins either.
Yeah. Now that you mention it. My other slam, it's not a bad match per se. It's just really predictable. I had zero faith that Drew was going to win. And right now, just these guys have no aura to me. Did this feel like a World Heavyweight Championship match?
Towards the end, they kind of got me a little bit with all the kickouts.
I mean, maybe, but that's just every match on AEW.
Oh, come on. They were believable. They were really behind Drew in Saudi Arabia. Did you notice that?
Honestly, I wasn't, I didn't, but I wasn't really paying super attention to the crowd. I think I was watching this match at work, so it wasn't like super loud either.
Well, they cheered, not really cheered, but they sung Seth Rollins' song a lot, during his entrance and periodically throughout the match. But they only chanted one guy's name, and that was Drew.
So is he a heel then? I mean, I know he's acting like that, but has he officially like turned?
Looks like he's gonna get pushed over the edge by Judgment Day.
Mm.
So I can see a heel turn coming, but supposedly, now if you believe the dirt sheets, which we know is not always accurate, that he hasn't signed his extension yet. So that could have played a role in him not winning the world championship, which I don't know.
Well, that just proves the believability of the sheets, because you remember months ago they said that he re-signed as soon as he came back. And then months before that, they said, oh, well, he hadn't signed yet, and he's upset with creative. Who knows?
I think they referenced it on SmackDown too.
That he hadn't signed another contract?
No, that he re-signed when he came back. I could be wrong, but I remember Michael Cole saying something like tongue in cheek when he returned on SmackDown.
Oh, you're right. I do remember that. I don't remember what he said, but it was some kind of like slight dig at the sheets.
Yeah. So I don't know how accurate that is, but I think he ends up taking the title off Seth. It won't be at Survivor Series because it's looking like it's going to be a War Games match with a bunch of guys. But maybe in January if they're having I think Royal Rumble is their next pay-per-view at their Survivor Series. So maybe at Royal Rumble.
I think Seth holds it till Mania, as sad as that is to say.
Oh man, I don't want to see that.
I got a feeling Big Pepsi's coming back to take it off of him.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I will see that.
You know they've been jawing about it for the past year.
Yeah, and Punk has been tweeting a lot of cryptic stuff lately.
Yeah. Well, not tweeting.
Oh yeah. Well, IG. What do you call a cryptic IG post?
I
guess.
guess.
Okay. All right.
I feel like if you say Instagram, and you sound like a boomer.
Oh man, I feel like it some days.
Oh God, you should see some of the guys at work, man. All of our stuff is digital, and they just, oh God.
They put on the
Well, you know
reading
how it is.
glasses.
It's like that at Walmart too. They could never work the TCs.
Yeah, they put on the glasses.
Yeah. They start touching it like it's always with their forefinger.
Yeah, my dad texts like that too.
Oh God! God forbid somebody use their thumbs, right?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, did you have any slams for this one?
Just the whole Rollins nonsensical storytelling throughout the match.
That's fair. I mean, I think we've harped on this one long enough, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of nonsensical, there was a multi-women match after this, and we had a job at work, so I had to put my phone down. And when I came back, it was like, wow, let's skip to the Solo Sikoa John Cena match. It's weird how that works sometimes.
Yeah, I don't. Raquel tried to do her back pose thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she couldn't do it because she had the full bodysuit on, but she still attempted to kind of do it, which kind of defeats the whole point. I don't know, man. It wasn't much to go off of. Oh, Nia Jax wore her normal gear because she always wears that.
It is very weird when they go over there and they have like not to be like this, but a lot of them wear very like skimpy clothing in the US, and then they go to Saudi Arabia and it is just to the nine. Every little inch of them is covered.
Covering up Rhea is a crime, brother.
I'm surprised they don't make them wear gloves.
It was even worse when they first went over there because they had to wear t-shirts over their skin tight stuff.
Really?
So it was like really baggy t-shirts over a whole scuba suit that they had to wear.
It's an interesting look when they go. I don't know.
They weren't even allowed to go over there the first couple times.
Really?
Because I don't know if you knew about like they had a all women's pay-per-view.
Yeah, Evolution, wasn't it?
Yeah, so apparently that was like a make good for them not getting the payoffs from Saudi because they weren't allowed to go over there. So they said, "Oh, okay, well, you have an all women's pay-per-view, to take off some of the heat of not allowing the women to go over there."
Oh, we'll take off some of the heat by literally having the lowest buy rate WWE pay-per-view ever.
Oh yeah, people sing the praise of that pay-per-view too. I don't know if they're watching the same.
Okay. Look, I'm not that guy.
Uh-oh.
I'm not trying to be that guy.
Here we go.
Women's wrestling is good when it's Rhea and Charlotte at Mania. It can be. But also, the buy rate was literally like one of the worst ever. Or like it was one of the least watched.
No, it was.
Yeah.
No, it definitely was. Yeah. It was something, man. People, I don't know, because you got a loud minority online that love everything women's wrestling, and they won't point out when it's really, really bad. So, you got a lot of delusional wrestling fans online that always sings praises of Evolution, which always it makes me laugh though. Like, were they watching the same pay-per-view I was watching?
I don't know. Here's a quote from Dave that I want to put because I didn't watch this, and I have heard that the was it Becky versus Charlotte that was like really good and it got like really good ratings or whatever.
Yeah, that was okay, but that was one match.
Yeah. So here's a quote from Dave. While Evolution was not a commercial failure for WWE and not the worst performing event of the year, it was still on the lower end of ticket sales despite its very heavy marketing push compared to those similar to its side. They reported that 90% of the seats were filled despite the reported sellout. Let's see. WWE sold 7,000 tickets for the event. So maybe it was not... Wait, hold on. Never mind. Here we go. This is where I heard this from. Mickie James was released from WWE in 2021. She had pushed for the company to produce another all-female event, but she was cut off at every opportunity. She claims an unnamed WWE official told her that women's wrestling doesn't make money, and that Evolution was the company's lowest-rated pay-per-view ever in the history of WWE pay-per-views. She rebuked this by saying the event was set up to fail, only being promoted on WWE programming a month prior to the event, with matches being announced a week or two before, which is every AEW pay-per-view.
No, that's every WWE pay-per-view from that time period. What's she talking about?
Yeah, that's also all. Yeah, it's just every pay-per-view now. They don't rely on the storylines; they just rely on the name.
Yeah.
So, again, people love, like you said, online to be like, they need to put more women's wrestling on TV. There are statistics against bad women's wrestling. I don't hate women's wrestling. I don't like bad women's wrestling. I don't like bad men's wrestling. I just don't like bad wrestling. And the gap between the upper echelon of performers is a lot higher in women's wrestling. That's just how it is. You got your Becky's, your Charlottes, Rhea, Bailey, Bianca. Bianca is probably my favorite. If she's wrestling, I'm gonna tune in. But everybody else, I just don't know. Toni Storm's pretty good too. I'll give her that.
Man, I mean, you couldn't have said it any better. Yeah. The upper main event scene in WWE for the women's side is pretty good. However, if you go across the street to AEW, it's not so good. And nobody wants to sit through an hour and a half of bad wrestling, man. That's what we would get if there's a 2-hour women's show once a week. So
and it just wouldn't. I highly doubt that it would have ratings close to any of the other shows. I'm just being honest. Maybe Rampage.
It would be lower than Rampage.
You think?
It doesn't. It would be lower than Rampage. Yes.
Interesting. Matter of fact, they should just do that. They should just make Rampage the women's show.
Well, I saw comments online that says, "Oh, give the women the lowest rated show and expect them to do well when it's on a bad time slot on a bad day." So apparently they don't want Friday nights, Micah. They don't want anything. They want prime time. They want to go up against Monday Night Raw.
All right, well, let's ask Tony to fork out the money. We'll see how that goes.
They think they can draw, man. Give them a chance.
Well, anyways, they drew with this one, and Solo Sikoa. Oh wait, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say it was silent throughout this match.
Yeah. Solo Sikoa versus John Cena. Let me preface before I say anything else. Have come to like John Cena. And the star power that he has helped the show. And I appreciate that.
Okay.
I only got one scoop.
Ouch.
I thought this match was better than the Theory match. And I did feel like he did a little bit more.
Yeah.
But leading into some of my slams, but I'll let you get your scoops out of the way. I don't know how much this really and truly does for Solo.
Well, they treat Solo like a big deal. They treat him like a future main event guy. So, I mean, if he's a future main event guy, this is what you want a future main event guy to do. Beat the top dog, John Cena, which I don't know if you knew this, Micah, but he has not won a singles match since 2018.
I don't know. They didn't tell me.
So this match should at least be a 74 overall in our next 2K. Bro, he can't win a match. Can't win a match. I mean, come on now. You can't justify that 95 rating he has. Get out of here.
You got a good point.
Why does Cena do so many jobs? Yet Edge only put over Roman in his whole 3-year run. I don't get that. Edge put over nobody except Roman Reigns. Every other person he feuded with, he went over.
A good point. I didn't think about that.
Brother, every time Edge lost a match, he would get his win back and he would win the feud. He won every single feud he had, except against Roman. 3-year run.
Yeah, because he beat Orton, he beat Seth, he beat AJ, he beat Finn, he beat Priest.
Yeah. Sheamus. Brother, who got over on Edge?
Did Theory beat him?
No, he beat Theory in Madison Square Garden.
Oh.
Oh, was that Waller? I think it was Waller. No, he still beat Theory though.
I thought Theory beat him for the U.S. title, but did they have a rematch and Edge beat him?
It could be, but he didn't do many jobs, or especially
Yeah.
clean jobs.
Yeah, definitely not, because I seriously can't remember one, other than maybe
Yeah,
Theory. But it wasn't a
crazy,
feud. That was a one-off.
crazy. Edge never gets the reputation Hogan gets for not doing jobs. Why is that? I don't understand that.
Well, he's definitely not going to get it now.
No, yeah, he's the best signing the AEW's ever had, apparently. But yeah, going back to the match, Cena versus Solo. Ah, this is probably Cena's best match in a while, which
Low
isn't
bar.
saying much. Yeah, I'm about to say, which isn't saying much. A lot of punches and kicks throughout this match. I did like Cena busting out a choke slam. You know, he does that from time to time, like brings out a random move in his
See, I thought
arsenal.
it was a rock bottom at first.
Well, Cole said it was a choke slam, but you know how he says a bunch of wrong moves. But he buzzed out a random move. I thought that was okay. And I understand that Samoan Spike is his finish, but we didn't need to see it 12 times.
No.
That was a little overkill for me.
It's the same thing with freaking Cody that I'll get to later. Finish should be a finish. Hit it once, hit it twice or 3 times in big matches. Don't hit it 8.
It made Solo look like a killer, but I don't know if we need to see 12 Samoan Spikes.
Well, you want me to get into my slams?
Yeah, go ahead, because that's all I
Okay.
got for this match.
Yeah, because that was one of mine. I understand that they're trying to make Solo a main event player and a killer, which is cool with me. I get it. If they're gonna do that, don't you think a ref stoppage finish could have helped that instead of a pin?
Yeah, most definitely.
I think that would have been more ruthless if he just kept on and kept on and kept on, and like Cena didn't necessarily get pinned, but Solo still beat him. And then Solo comes out looking better for it, to me, other than just like, I hit him with my finish 18 times and I pinned him. Like, that doesn't look as dominant to me. But, I mean, has anybody ever ref stoppage finished John Cena?
When Lesnar suplexed him 16 times, it came pretty close.
So, see, exactly, but that's rarefied air. Now you're comparing
Yeah.
him to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And I know that's a nitpick, but I just feel like what they were going for would have worked better with that. Because I see the vision, and while I don't necessarily agree with it, because I think Solo's got a long way to go,
Yeah.
I just would have liked to see that better. Other than that, Cena's matches are very predictable, aside from the finish. And again, that would have helped if they had done a different finish here. Because would anybody have expected a ref stoppage? Probably not.
No.
And then have Cena do the same little walkout thing, but I mean, have him refuse doctors, something like that, like Mankind in the Cell.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I have is, why does Cena insist on neutering everybody before he puts him over?
Somehow when he called him a bargain basement Taz ripoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did the same thing to Theory.
Well, at least Solo won after that.
I mean, Theory won, but at what cost?
Did he though? Yeah, did he? Did he win? No, I think the Theory one was a lot worse.
Yeah. Well, because Cena gets to meta. Well, he gets to meta game basically. He gets to say bullcrap nobody else says. I mean, Triple H would be like, "Haha, that I guess they're not piping that in. Haha, that's funny, Sean, isn't it?" But no, Cena's like, "Oh, they didn't have to pipe in crowd noise for me, brother." And then what is Theory supposed to say?
Yeah, Cena gonna Cena. I will say this, and I don't know if you have anything else for this match, but is he the most generous big star of all time? How many jobs?
Probably,
How many jobs does Cena do, man?
but it's almost backhanded at the same time because of the way he does promos.
Yeah, it kind of cancels each other out.
Yeah. I mean, I would say yes because he definitely puts people over more than Hogan, more
Yeah.
than Austin.
Could you
Not,
imagine? Could you imagine Steve Austin agreeing to that 2014 SummerSlam match with Brock Lesnar?
yeah,
Could you
absolutely
imagine?
not.
Could you imagine Steve Austin getting suplexed 16 times? Steve Austin wouldn't show up that night. You
He
wouldn't have.
already
You
did
would.
one time with Brock.
Well, yeah, you got a point. But you wouldn't have a world title match that night if you presented that idea to Hogan in the height of WCW. That wouldn't have worked for him.
Mm-mm. So, I mean, yes, but at the same time, if I have to see that daggum hat get readjusted and that smirk as he pops himself up from the corner one more time,
Fine speech.
oh my god, I hate it because it's so typical.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent to the "La FU3" that LeBron has. Like those are the same move. That's the same thing right there.
It's a good comparison.
So I mean, I don't know, man. I appreciate you, Cena. I appreciate you being on the show again, but
Yeah. Get out of here.
yeah. I don't know, man. Let somebody get one over on you on a promo every now and then, aside from freaking Punk.
Yeah. Or maybe it's because the guys he's feuding with can't go on the stick, man. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess I was gonna say, who would you put him with then that can? But I don't know. Do they have anybody really a heel other than Roman who's
I was
good on
yeah.
the mic?
I was about to say LA Knight, but he's a babyface, so you can't really neuter Cena.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably not.
So I mean, I guess who are you gonna put him with? Honestly, just most guys right now aren't at the promo level that Cena's at. Because the promo skill in 2006, 7, 8, 9 was higher than it is now.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a point there. We don't have a Triple H on the mic. We don't have a Shawn Michaels on the mic. We don't have anybody that fits that criteria. I mean, we got Seth but he can't go on the mic. Yeah, man, there's not a lot of big stars that can go on the stick like they used to.
Roman's probably the best one to have in WWE, but he's never there.
Oh, come on now. That can't be right, is it?
Who else? Okay, you got LA Knight, I would say is
Yeah.
probably top 5. Cody.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Cody. How would we forget Cody?
Cody, Roman. Yeah, but he's babyface. LA Knight. I'm just trying to round out the top 5.
Miz?
Miz when he wants to. KO, maybe?
Oh, yeah. KO, Sammy. They can go
One
on
of
the mic.
them.
They can go on the mic. I'm not.
But think about, okay, let's take the 2008 roster. Who would be your best promos back then? You got Cena.
Oh, man. You got Punk, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Batista. There's a lot of good guys on the mic back then, man.
Exactly. They're not comparable to today.
No, not even close. It's sad, man. We grew up in the best era of wrestling. Now we get Grayson Waller and Seth Rollins every week.
It's the best comparison I've ever heard on the show is comparing that team to Miz and Morrison.
Grayson Waller in theory.
Yes. It's such a great comparison, but Miz and Morrison actually like turned out to be something, and that might not. So I don't know. We'll see if they live up to it.
Yeah. I still got hope for theory. Maybe something will click eventually.
The clock's dwindling, but was that all you had for the Cena match?
Yeah, let's get off this Cena match.
All right. Next up, we got for the United States Championship, we got Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio, and I hate to say it, this might have been my favorite match of the night.
Well, you
It's
didn't
between this and the main event.
watch the Miz TV Grayson Waller effect?
Oh, that happened?
God, come on, man.
No, I'm being dead honest. I didn't. If that happened, I did not see it. I must have skipped through it.
Yeah, that happened. Grayson Waller and Miz. Miz is apparently babyface now, I might add.
Oh,
And-
brother.
hey, no, hold up now. The crowd was 100% behind him. He's having a match with Gunther at Survivor Series.
Mm. Yeah, I seen somebody on Twitter. He did what, a Hurricane Rana the other night or a Tornado DDT?
Yeah.
Somebody said somebody get Mystico out of here. It cracked me up.
Now, Miz has been doing really well, especially coming off that LA Knight feud. He's having a lot of pretty decent to good matches, and his promo work has been really good. And the crowd is behind him now as a babyface against Gunther.
Interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I watched Raw on this little hiatus that we've been on, so I'll tune in this week and I'll see what Miz is doing. But
Well, hold up now, not for the whole show. I'll tell you what you need to watch.
yeah. No, God, no, not 3 hours.
No, sir.
Show too dang long.
They did have that segment, so wanted to put that out there for the listeners. Just in case you didn't watch it, you didn't need to watch it, but it did happen.
Well, Logan Paul, Rey Mysterio, United States Championship, Scoop Slam. I'll let you start us off.
I like the entrance for Logan Paul.
Yeah, it was cool.
It had the Doom buggy.
He's got some aura, more than a lot of guys.
Oh, he is great on the mic as well, too. He is great.
That's true.
As a heel.
Top 10.
Supposedly he's going to be around more because he's the U.S. champion. And he said that he was retiring from boxing to focus on WWE full time. But I don't know. When I saw the clip, it looked like he was joking when he said it. But yeah, it's cool entrance from Logan. I like the way he uses Hall of Famers moves. Did you see him do the Ultimate Warrior?
Yeah.
Like Ultimate Warrior body press and then into the frog splash. I thought that was all right.
Yeah, there was something else that I can't remember it now because I don't think I wrote it down. I kill myself when I do that because I always say like, oh no, I'll remember it, and then I don't. But there was some other move he did that I was like, that's kind of old school, but
Oh, a bear hug?
no, I don't think it was that either.
Because I remember Michael Cole said, "Oh, Bruno Sammartino like bear hug from
Yes,
Logan Paul."
okay, yeah, it was that then. But I thought he did like a press or something with it.
Now he did the press, the Ultimate Warrior press, like the the gorilla press type thing.
Yeah. Well, maybe
He
I
did
mixed
that.
the two up because I remember the Bruno Sammartino call.
Yeah, he did the Ultimate Warrior combo splash that he does, like the gorilla press into the splash.
Okay.
Which he got some ups. He got some ups on that splash.
Hey, he's athletic as all get out. Don't forget that. That's why he's such a natural. But yeah, I get you. I like that he does older stuff too.
And can I hit you with one more?
Go ahead.
The fall away moonsault slam. I've never ever seen that. Do you remember seeing that ever? You know what I'm talking about, Micah?
Yeah, I don't think I have, to be honest with you.
I've never seen that. The strength that takes and like the balance that takes is crazy. I know Ray's not the biggest guy in the world, but still though, that is insane to pull off. And man, Logan just keeps on impressing. He just keeps on impressing. What do you got for scoops?
Well, before I was gonna say Ray's a pretty crazy guy too for letting him do it. But yeah, I mean, I think Logan is earning these guys' trust. He's pulling off some crazy stuff every match, and nobody's getting hurt. Honestly, one of my slams, or one of my scoops along with that, is Logan freaking saved Ray's life one time in the match.
Oh, with that moonsault?
Yeah, because Ray was headed straight for daggum the ER. and Logan caught him and pretty much saved him. And it was a little bit of a bobble, but it still worked. So I don't. It's weird. He is a natural. And that's my scoop. As much as I don't like him as a person, he gets it.
Who's training him? Like, he didn't grow up as a fan. So who is training this guy?
I'm gonna guess the PC, but maybe he's getting somebody outside of it.
You think it's Sean?
Could be. I'll see if I can find something about it real quick.
It's crazy, man. Whoever's training that man, give him a raise, because you can't really teach instincts, but he just does things. He does little things in the match, works the crowd. He's athletic. I wish we had this man full time.
Yeah. I really hope that he is serious about, quitting the boxing and actually doing this. I don't think he will full time because he
makes too much money.
Exactly. But it is really cool. There's people that just know Logan Paul. They don't watch WWE, but it brings eyes to the product, and it's really cool. He could be a Hogan. I mean, how many actors have we seen come in and they can't really wrestle? They just kind of walk around and do the moves. But Logan is actually in there busting his tail, and I will always commend him for that.
Yeah. Easily the greatest celebrity wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
Unless you want to count The Rock. I mean, of course, The Rock. But can you imagine telling yourself 10 years ago that Logan Paul would beat Rey Mysterio for the U.S. title in Saudi Arabia?
That's so much. One, I probably wouldn't think that Rey would still be wrestling. Two, I would think that Logan Paul was never in WWE. And three,
Saudi Arabia.
Speaking of training, yes, he did train some with Sean. A lot of his training is Drew Gulak, Shane Helms, and just the regular Performance Center. But Shawn Michaels has been involved with him as well.
Wow. Now, you got some great guys teaching him.
Yeah, that's true. And it's showing.
Yeah.
Maybe Jade will come out looking a lot better.
Hopefully.
The only other thing I had was I do like the fact that Logan won the belt. I think it's an interesting dynamic, and like I said, brings eyes to the product. This is the way that I would have gone with it. I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to the main event. But I think WrestleMania is spearheaded for Logan Paul versus LA Knight. That's the match to make to me.
Looks like LA Knight is gonna feud with Grayson Waller for the time being, so that's gonna cool him off a bit. Yeah. Hopefully he heats back up around Royal Rumble.
Well, that's what, and like I said, I'll talk about it later when we get to the main event. But I'm worried for his sake. But as long as they're both in the Rumble, and LA Knight can survive this Grayson Waller feud. He's Jungle Boy at this point. And if they can get something where LA Knight throws Logan out or Logan throws LA Knight out, I think that's a good mid-card feud to have in the Mania.
Are the LWO the worst faction of all time?
Probably.
Like the most ineffective faction ever. Like, why didn't they come out with Ray?
What was the point of bringing them back? Like, it was cool when they did it for like the first month, and then after Puerto Rico, they did nothing with it.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but on SmackDown is not looking good for them.
Yeah, I saw a clip or two, but we'll wait till next week to fully get into it, just in case the listeners ain't seen anything.
Yeah, I like Logan Paul went up to Ray after the match and said, "Hey, good job, buddy. I had to do what I had to do," and just didn't acknowledge that he cheated at all.
And then Ray was like, "You know what you did."
I don't know what you're talking about, buddy.
The only slam I had was, I don't like that it's a nameless jabroni helping Logan.
They never give him a name.
No. I mean, just, I don't know, have it be KSI or have it be a heel wrestler or something. I don't know. Put him with a flunky.
Is he on his podcast? I don't listen to his podcast.
I've never seen that dude before in my life. I've seen clips of Logan's podcast, but I don't think it's either of them.
Bro, they can at least give him a man a name. Even
Exactly.
Mike Sanders, that can be him.
Or give him, I don't know, let him stuff the daggone brass knucks in his trunks or something. It's not that hard.
Wait, you
Especially
want Mike
when he
Sanders to stuff his brass knucks and Logan's tights?
Whoa. Let's not get erotic here.
Well, I'm just asking.
No, I'm talking about,
Logan.
especially with all the other run-ins you have. Why can Logan not just, I don't know, stuff some brass knuckles in his boots? Like, is that unbelievable to believe that he would do that?
Where's his bro? Bro couldn't show up for Saudi?
Yeah. What about him? Bring him in.
He showed up for the last Saudi show against Roman.
He was probably there in some event.
Yeah.
Did you have any slams for it?
Nah, just the fact that Ray almost killed himself and LWO is the worst faction of all time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, following that, Io Sky versus Bianca Belair for the WWE Women's Championship. Io was in her best Hardy's tribute gear.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to say here.
Do you have anything? Because I got slams, but I don't have any scoops.
I wouldn't call this a scoop, but it's more just my overall thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't think this match was bad. I'm kind of sick of seeing this match.
It happened a lot, yeah.
And I don't know. I think Bianca needs a change of pace. Like, this feud kind of feels like it's been going on for a long time. Nothing is really progressing. Like, Charlotte's randomly inserted, and then she's gone. But this continues. I thought Bianca was going to turn heel a couple months ago, and she didn't.
It's looking like Bailey's going to turn babyface.
But I would rather Io and them turn babyface and Bianca turn heel, which I guess would be a double turn. That's kind of hard to pull, but I don't know. Bianca has more longevity as a heel right now.
I thought they should have went with Bianca as a heel as well, but going off SmackDown, what I saw so far, they added another member to Damage Control. So it looks like Bianca's going to be feuding with them for quite a while. Yeah.
I just don't want to see this anymore. I've seen it enough. And then I don't want to see tonight on Friday Night SmackDown, Bianca Belair versus Dakota Kai. Like,
oh, yo, I think that was the match on SmackDown.
Oh, come on.
Why did you watch SmackDown?
No, not yet.
I don't know. I don't remember that being. It could have been a match. I don't know. But I got a couple slams. Can I hit you with a triple decker real quick, Micah?
Go ahead. I only got one slam.
All right. These girls worked very hard. They did. I commend them for that. Nothing was embarrassing, but the crowd did not care about this at all. They did not care when Kairi Sane. I don't even think they knew who that was when Kairi Sane jumped the barricade. This is where I started getting annoyed by the run-ins because it happened a lot throughout this PLE. Many run-ins. And the last slam I got is Kyrie is 4'11", yet she just packed up Bianca like she wasn't nothing. Like, come on, man.
Thank you.
Now. She's Bianca is a foot taller, but it didn't matter. Packed her up, sent her on her way.
I mean this in the most respectful way possible. Bianca is a bigger woman, not fat. She's just thick. She's muscular.
She's like an athlete.
Exactly. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Bianca Belair could probably beat me up. No lie.
Probably, yeah.
And I just can't believe that Kairi Sane just come over there and shellac her and she's just dead.
100-pound, 4'11", Kairi Sane.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Come on.
Like, she ran in and I was like, okay, here we go. What's she gonna do? And then she did the spinning back fist, and I was like, all the moves.
Look so phony. Look worse than Jericho's spinning elbow.
And then she did the knee thing, and again, I just can't buy it. Have her come in with a weapon. Why can she not come in with a lead pipe? Well, hey, that's what they gave Riho.
Yeah, I was about to say, you've been watching AEW, huh?
I don't know. I don't want to say give her the mist because that feels cliche, but
Yeah, every
give her
Japanese person.
something.
You know that every Japanese person has the miss now.
Oh yeah, it's just an innate ability.
Okay, all right.
I just feel like Bianca should not like Io. To me, is believable that her and Bianca could like have a match.
Okay.
I don't know. She's gonna have to pull out some like Rey Mysterio bullcrap to beat Bianca. To me,
You're gonna be sadly disappointed if you're expecting that, Micah.
yeah,
I thought
no.
she was out of all the Japanese women's talent that they brought over. I think she is probably the. This is my opinion, but I think she's the weakest of all of them when it comes to in-ring stuff. Like her stuff does not look good. She does the best elbow drop I've ever seen, but other than that, I mean, that bell has to ring, Micah.
I've never seen any of her work. I saw her. The first match I've ever seen was her and Mercedes at Wrestle Kingdom.
Did you like it?
And it was just there. I watched it because it was Mercedes. It wasn't a long match either. Like I don't think it went over 10 minutes. Let me confirm that. But I mean, again, we were just looking for Mercedes at that point. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know that Kairi Sane is a great pickup for them. Just being honest.
Apparently, Triple H is looking to get some more Joshis in.
Well, I heard them getting Julia.
Never seen her.
Never seen her, but people say that she's good.
Do we really want to listen to those people? Didn't they tell us that Jay White was the greatest heel of all time?
Well, some would say.
I don't know if we can listen to those guys.
So I don't know. I mean, they seem to be really plunging the Japanese scene right now, both AEW and WWE, because AEW just got, what's her name? Mariah May from Stardom.
Never seen her.
I mean, I've never seen her, but
for the name, never seen her though.
Yeah. And no, their match wasn't at Wrestle Kingdom. It was
at the New Japan Strong show.
I don't.
Was that in San Jose or like
Battle at the Valley? Battle in the Valley.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That was like a year ago, wasn't it? She didn't do anything for a year.
Close to. It was February. Well, I'm sure she did something. I just hadn't watched it.
Nobody else has.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. Their match went 26 minutes. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh my god. Michael, were you in a comatose state watching that match?
I don't remember it being bad. Like, honestly,
it was just there.
I think I thought that Mercedes looked good, but I remember that Mercedes did her move and it kind of came off funky. No, that was at Wrestle Kingdom. I don't know. It was a year ago. Jesus, I don't remember what I watched a month ago.
Regardless, this match happened and the crowd, they were in attendance for this match.
Do you think it's because they're women? Like, I'm not trying to be like that, but over there.
Yeah, but why would you get excited for a match that you've seen it before, so it's not a first time match? I don't know. Bad place, bad time. Bad time to have a return.
Yeah.
But yeah, you might be right. Maybe it's because of the cultural thing.
I was thinking that too. Why not do it at Survivor Series? Because Saudi is just a not good place to debut somebody unless like the audience is very familiar with them.
Could just did it on SmackDown too.
Well, I guess, but then I guess you might feel like a jabroni.
Well, I feel like they're kind of because I told you they added on to Damage Control, so looks like they're gonna have like a multi-woman match at Survivor Series,
Oh, here we go.
and maybe that's where they finally kick Bailey out the group.
I could see it. You hear anybody upset? Listen real quiet now. Yeah, I don't hear
Hey,
anybody upset about that.
I gotta be honest. If I was in attendance, I probably went to the merch table or the snack stand. I probably wouldn't stay for this match.
Well, let's move on. Let's get to our next match. Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest. I forgot this was on the card till I watched it.
I have no recollection of this happening.
I feel like we've said this about a lot of the matches. It was just there. I mean, there's just nothing. Sometimes, and it's not a bad thing, sometimes the matches just happen and there's just not much of a takeaway.
Cody did wake the crowd up. I remember that.
Yes. That was one of my things. I got 2 scoops. I hit you with both of them real quick.
All right.
Cody is still over with the people. Even if I feel like he's lost some steam, the fans go crazy anytime he comes out. So for that, I have to applaud him. And like you said here, he woke the people up. The match was not bad. It just happened.
It was a Raw match.
Exactly. I feel like every single one of these matches could have happened on a just Raw or SmackDown, maybe aside from
The opening and the main event.
Yeah. No, even the opening. If that was a Raw main event, I'd probably been like, yeah, okay.
A fair point.
But the other scoop I had was, I feel like this was a solid match between 2 of the bigger contenders. It's a good pre-main event match, but I feel like it hung on a little bit too long after the run-in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think they went another 4 or 5 minutes after the run-in, and it should have just ended right there. Like, as soon as Cody tried to roll Priest up, he got out of it. They should have had maybe a minute or 2 of back and forth. Go to hit the South of Heaven, reverse, crossroads, and then do 8 of them, because you love to spam your finish. And then 1, 2, 3, go home. But instead, they had another back and forth, and this and that, and I don't know, man. Did anybody want this to be 15, 17 minutes long? Probably not.
Didn't need to be. Yeah, it didn't need to be.
That's all I got for scoops, if you have any.
You pretty much just echoed everything I had. I had a random thought during the match that Cody is the biggest babyface in WWE, and MJF is the biggest babyface in AEW, which is crazy to think about, considering where we were a couple years ago for that live AEW show. Who got the most boos? It was MJF and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. MJF was just, everybody was in on the joke of booing him. Cody, man, people legitimately did not want him to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, we were there for that. We did not want him to be there either.
Yeah. Loud boos coming from a certain section.
Yeah. From every section, it felt like.
Yeah. But I'm not even a big Malachi guy, but I was like, no, get that jabroni out of the ring.
Cody had to get his win back, though. And then Malachi's done nothing.
Absolutely. Since. It's like the last singles match he's had.
Yeah. I had a couple slams, but you pretty much hit on them. Felt like a Raw match.
Yep. And the only 2 I had, again, run-in Mania brother, running wild here.
Yeah.
And Cody finish. Stays looking weak because he does it 8 million times every match.
Is it even his finish if he doesn't finish with it?
You know, that's a good point. He might as well make a new one. I don't know. I just... Like the main event of WrestleMania, I don't want to see Cody hit Roman with it 8 times. I want to see it once and it's over with. And that's kind of just the state of wrestling, I guess. But I don't know, man. It's also different in the WrestleMania main event for a guy to kick out of 2 of Roman spears. But I mean, dadgum, it's Damian Priest. I like him, and he's like probably world championship material. But good night.
He is the Money in the Bank winner. So
I mean, yeah, but he hit him with like 2 during the match, and then at the end he hit him with 1, rolled him up, hit him with
yeah,
another.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
overkill.
It doesn't look as devastating when he does it like twice in a row, too. I think if you just hit it one time, it looks way more devastating than when you hit it 3 times back to back.
Yeah. But I do agree. Like Cody, as much as I feel like he's lost steam, he is still their biggest babyface, and whatever he's doing, I'm interested in. And that's my biggest takeaway from WWE. Even if this pay-per-view, a lot of it was just kind of like there. There's a couple guys.
Oh, PLE.
I knew. I didn't know what you were about to correct me on, and I was like, oh, here we go.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Now I lost the train of thought.
You lost it. I'm sorry, man.
Anyways, there's a couple guys in WWE that I'm interested in, but if we could just get one show with all of them, it'd be great. But there's a lot of fluff, and I think that's their biggest problem. If Raw goes to FX, like the rumors are saying, I hope they make it 2 hours, and I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't want there to just be one company, but if all the stars were in one company, it would probably be digestible television.
You think so? You don't think politics will get involved?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. We'll see when Punk comes in. I'm holding out hope for Survivor Series.
Oh, yeah, it's happening, brother. My inside sources are telling me it's happening at Survivor Series.
If what I'm hearing is true.
Now, plans can change there, but everything is pointing at Survivor Series as being the destination.
Oh. Hey, I'll follow you. I'm subscribed to the Scoop Slam Network.
Hey, you heard it here first from the Scoop Slam guys.
I don't know about first. But anyways, Roman Reigns versus LA Knight was the main event to close this one out for the WWE Championship. I will say, I didn't write this down. The promo package before, great work. The only thing that bothered me was sometimes the text would be left centered and then it would go to center. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but that was just a weird thing that bothered me. But other than that, Scoop Slams. I think you did the last one, so I'll start us off with this one. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. We can go back and forth because I think we might actually have a couple on this one. Roman has the greatest emotions, facial expression wise, in the business. He's not the best seller, but not many guys just have the storytelling there. Like when he was making fun of LA Knight and he was doing the little mocking face and he was pointing at the crowd. I mean, just stupid crap like that. When somebody kicks out of something, they know to pan to him because his face is going to be perfect on time. You might think it's hokey, but it doesn't feel hokey to me. Some people have too much. They lay it on too thick. Not Roman.
Or when he locks somebody in a headlock and he just starts talking. That's great.
Yeah. And I hate it because I feel like we glaze him all the time on this show. But I don't know, man. When he's there, it feels big time.
Yeah, he's the biggest star in the industry right now.
It just sucks because I wish he was there the entire time. But part of that is good and part of it's not. First match since SummerSlam, that's kind of ridiculous. But I know he don't need to be there every week.
It feels more important when he is there, though.
Yeah.
Like some weeks I'm like, do I really want to watch SmackDown? But then when I see, Roman was on, okay, I'll check out the show. I'll tune in. And I feel like that's a lot of people's attitude.
It's definitely mine. That season premiere episode of SmackDown is probably one of my favorite episodes of wrestling television this whole year.
Oh, God, that can't be right.
Think about it. What else?
Well, hold up now. Didn't Raw have a good, what was it, Raw 30?
Yeah, maybe. That or some of the first collisions.
Oh yeah, some of the collisions were pretty good. But yeah, it was definitely the best SmackDown I've seen all year.
It just,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He has a certain appeal. It just feels like he gets it, and not many other people do.
Yeah, he's great. LA Knight is clicking on all cylinders right now, which I'm happy to see, man, because I had this guy as the breakout guy in our Scoop Slam Awards last year. And finally, he's here. He's arrived. Did you see all the yeah signs in the crowd?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Great to see, great visual. Because you don't really see a lot of signs nowadays. And usually when you watch SmackDown, majority of the signs are LA Knight signs.
Yep.
You'll see people holding up the yeah or his catch for let me talk to you. I mean, all the signs are pretty much LA Knights. And during this match, it was nothing but the sea of yeah, which made a great visual. But
I mean, even in the promo package, think about how many signs they showed that were in his favor.
you remember last Saudi show, the crowd was chanting LA Knight at Triple H during the press conference, and he wasn't on the show.
They gave it to him this time.
They did. Gave it to him in the main event. I know he got a big payday too. Probably the biggest payday he's ever had.
I seen something, which I'll let you get to your scoops after this. I saw something that said they made more off this than they did the last 3 WrestleManias.
Oh, the Saudi government pays them $50 million a show. Like, they don't have to sell any tickets. The Saudi government sells the tickets. So all they gotta do is
I wouldn't call them. I wouldn't say that they sell the tickets.
Yeah, you're gonna be there regardless. But still, though, that's that deal they signed was a 10-year deal, $50 million a show, twice a year. What is that? That's $1 billion deal, ain't it?
Something like that.
Huh?
I think it is, yeah.
Oh, it got Sean out of retirement. Can you imagine what they're paying these wrestlers?
And how was he the best looking one out of all of them in that match?
I don't know about his looks there, Micah.
Whoa, not looks. I'm talking about in the ring.
He definitely ain't the Heartbreak Kid. He's bald now, Micah.
Well, some people like that kind of thing.
I guess you got a point. But still, yeah. Going back to the Roman LA Knight match. I know everybody knew Reigns was going to win. I get that. However, I think LA Knight needed to prove that he could hang in the main event scene and have main event matches. And he proved it against Roman. I thought it was his best match.
I gotta agree. I can't really name another one that would top it off the top of my head. And honestly, I mean, he's not necessarily known for great matches, but
he don't need to be.
Yeah, he looked like he could belong, just like you said.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Austin wasn't. He wasn't Dean Malenko in 1998, but he didn't need to be.
Yep. And that kind of ties in with one of my scoops as well. I put that this is just such basic wrestling. Like, honest to God. It was so simple. This was 1996 Halloween Havoc, Hogan versus Macho Man.
Ooh.
Well, let me lead you down this train.
Go ahead. I'm locked in. I got my seatbelt on.
All right. So Hogan, like Roman, biggest star in the world champion, faction behind him. You know they're going to come in and cheat. You just know it's going to happen, which that's a topic for another day, but still. So, like Hogan, not a big workhorse guy, not somebody who's going to be doing triple entendre, front flip, cannonball screwdrivers on you. And you got LA Knight. More of a worker, not a crazy worker. Now, Savage was a better worker, absolutely.
Slim Jim sponsorship.
Slim Jim sponsorship. I didn't even think about that. but he's got the aura. He's got the catchphrases and the people behind him, and he's a resilient babyface who has nobody on his side but him.
Yeah.
And he's going to sell a lot of this match. And Hogan's going to do his facial expressions and his taunts and all that, and Macho Man's going to take that beating. But then when Macho Man climbs up and he does that elbow drop, for a moment in time, you think, oh my God, Macho Man's going to beat him.
Yeah.
And here comes NWO, and here comes the Bloodline. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, this is literally a carbon copy, to me, scenario. Obviously, Hogan's bigger than Roman was, sure, but if we're putting things in today's standard, and Savage was a better worker than LA Knight, this is the same exact match. They're not doing crazy work, but they're working the crowd, they're working the people. And so it builds and it builds and it builds, and then, oh my God, LA Knight hit the BFT, he might get him. And of course he don't, and you knew Macho Man wasn't going to beat Hogan.
Yeah.
But you would think.
For that brief second. Maybe he will.
So that to me was the best comparison that I could come up to.
They protected LA Knight as well. There's not a lot of guys. There's a few guys that have kicked out the spear, but it is really a short list of people. Like, we talking Brock Lesnar, maybe Cena. There's not a lot of guys that ever kicked out the spear. And LA Knight did it. That was a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which he could have just took the spear and took the JOB, but they went out their way to protect him, which is a good sign for the future of LA Knight. Can I hit you with one slam? This is all the slam I got. Maybe one nitpick, but this is the only slam I got.
All right.
I hate how the commentators talk about Roman, because Michael Cole in one sentence is saying, I firmly believe LA Knight had Roman beat after that BFT, if not for Jimmy Uso interfering. And then 30 seconds later, Michael Cole says, Roman continues to dominate. What? You just told me that he was about to lose, so that's not dominating. I don't know, man. They talk out of both sides of their mouth a lot with Roman.
Yeah, and I don't know, not to shortcome LA Knight, but let's not act like this guy was Austin 3 months ago. This is like his first main event match. Like, honestly, nobody should expect him to win. Now, you can be like, oh my God, for a brief moment, I thought he might have had him, and I thought there was no way possible that he was going to win this match before that, but don't overdo it.
Yeah. That's what he does. Michael does that a lot, especially when it comes to Roman. How can he be a dominant, unbeatable champion if he has interference every match? That seems like you're counteracting your point, right, Micah?
Yeah. Like, the way they talk about Christian on AEW, most of the time makes sense. They're like, well, sure, he's the champion, but he's got Luchasaurus behind him. Or when he was claiming that he was the TNT champion, Kevin Kelly would be like, well, Luchasaurus is actually the champion. And then you got Nigel, and he's like, well, sure, but he's only champion because Christian's letting him hold the belt, something like that. But
I was hoping you would do your British accent for Nigel.
Well, I thought about it, but thought it would sound too bad. Christian Cage.
But hey man, why doesn't Nick Aldis or Adam Pearce ban the Bloodline from ringside?
Thank you.
I don't understand that, but like during Triple H's reign of terror, they would do that periodically, and Triple H would end up just cheating to win.
Yeah.
which would make sense. But with the Bloodline, they don't ever say, okay, you know what, it's gonna be a lumberjack match, or you know what, the Bloodline come to ringside, you get your title vacated, Roman. Why is it never that stipulation?
I don't.
Are they?
I have no answer, but I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking the same thing. Like, I mean, good God, can Paul Heyman not pass him something every now and then?
Yeah.
Especially
And
when you've got to run in on the Cody match, the Bianca match, the Logan match.
why don't the guys that have feuded with the bloodline, like Cody, Sammy, KO, all these guys that were there at the show, why didn't they stick around for the main event? Make sure that didn't happen. Do babyfaces not care about each other?
I guess not. It's
Yeah.
the baby faces never care about each other, but all the heels do.
Yeah, they're loyal, but the baby faces don't care about each other.
Yeah, that makes some kind of sense, don't it?
Yeah.
I will say I had two other slams. Again,
Right.
run-in Mania.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like that's definitely getting stale with the Roman thing. We just hit on that though, so obviously. The other thing, I love Roman, and I know we just talked about all this, the positives. It feels like the storyline of the Bloodline has been on autopilot since Mania, and I hate to say this because I hate to get into this mindset, but I feel like when I told you my plan after Mania for Cody and Roman both, that it was better booked. I hate to say that because people do that crap and then they get like, oh, well, this didn't happen and I thought it was going to and I had a better idea. And I'm not trying to be like that, but there's no reason Roman couldn't have lost at Mania.
Yeah.
Into SummerSlam. Oh, well, you
No,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Finish thought. Finish thought.
Oh, I was just going to say, there's no reason he couldn't have lost at Mania. Went to SummerSlam versus Jay, and still been feuding with the Bloodline out to this. And then now, I don't know that they're going to get The Rock, but I would say that the chance is probably higher than it ever has been, considering the writer's strike just ended. And then you wouldn't be in such a hard place for that, because now, do you out Cody? Probably not. Do you not have The Rock and Roman? Because that's such a natural matchup at the 40th anniversary of Mania. You know they're going to go balls to the wall. I don't know, man. I'm still not on the train that was the best thought to make them, because Roman really feels like he's been on autopilot since Mania.
I won't say since Mania. I'll say since SummerSlam, because it did heat up with a lot of the Bloodline Civil War stuff in the summer. I don't know if you remember that tag match that Roman and Solo had against Jimmy and Jay.
Yeah,
And,
I guess that is fair.
Yeah, they had a lot of good moments throughout the summer. But when Jimmy turned on Jay, that's when it like, oh man, what are we doing here? How are we going to be able to stretch this out to WrestleMania? Because it seems like the match they're going with at WrestleMania is Jimmy versus Jay. That's what it seems like they're going. And I don't know. It's gonna be tough to get us there, especially with Roman probably not gonna be there until Royal Rumble, which is what it's looking like.
Yeah, he's not
So,
booked for any shows for the rest of the year, right?
Yeah, man, gotta take his Christmas break.
You know my feelings.
Nah,
I like him. I just wish he was here just a little bit more.
yeah, I would have had him on Survivor Series. That's outrageous,
Yeah.
especially in that big venue.
And it's the last pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah, it is.
So
Who does he
know.
have left to feud with before Mania?
I think that's the problem. I think that they have made great seeds 6 months too early, or 8 months too early.
I don't see anybody on the horizon that can. You think Solo maybe turns on him and we get something like that going into WrestleMania?
I don't know. If it were me, I would have tried to have all of his partners gone by Mania, and then Cody could have beat him. But now Jimmy's pledged allegiance, so you can't swap him back, because then it just gets really stupid. Solo, maybe, but I don't know, because then Roman squashes him at Rumble. Then what? What does Solo do? He's just going to twist in the wind.
Yeah, I don't see anything on the horizon for him. But who else do you have? AJ. Oh, they did injure AJ Styles. I can see him coming back in the Rumble and maybe making a little pay-per-view match with Roman at Elimination Chamber to have something for Roman to do. I can see that happening.
That's still, well, I mean, if he's not going to be on TV, then what does it matter? I don't know. It'll heat up whenever Mania season gets here, and I know in the winter they always cool off just because football kills them. Same with AEW. Like, that's just kind of how wrestling seasons are.
And since there's going to be no December pay-per-view for the second year in a row, it's going to be a lot of dead airspace for the next month. Like, they're just going to be phoning it in.
What did they used to do during the December era? Was it TLC?
Yeah, TLC.
No, I couldn't remember the pay-per-view they had. Well, that'll wrap up Crown Jewel. What do you give it out of 10?
Oh boy, this was not my favorite PLE. So I'll give it a 6. I give it a 6 out of 10. If you didn't see this PLE, you don't need to see it.
No, watch the main event.
Yeah.
I say 5. It's just there. There's nothing overly bad with it. There's nothing overly good with it. It is the most middle of the road pay-per-view ever.
Yeah. And last couple of them have been like that. Fastlane and I forget the one that had it before that, but yeah. And 3 straight mid pay-per-views coming off SummerSlam.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Survivor Series is good, especially with the hopeful return of the Second City Saint, the chosen son of Chicago and the Scoop Slam podcast, because it's pretty dry without him. Yeah. As for our schedule for the next little bit, it's getting hectic with the holidays, so I'm going to make a rough schedule right now and just tell everybody about it, and if we don't stick to it, then I'll let you know on our Instagram and our Twitter. So, we're going to have this up this weekend that we're recording, which is, right now we're recording on the 11th. Next week, we'll be back. Thursday, we're going to probably record. So look that weekend for our weekly review. The next week is Thanksgiving. I think we're going to do a watch along, but we'll see how that goes. We'll be back the next week with regular programming, weekly review. The next week, regular programming, weekly review. Same the next week. Then we're going to take 3 weeks off, which will be from December 17th to January 6th. All those weeks off, we're going to drop some watch-alongs. We haven't talked about what we're going to do yet, but we'll figure it out. Just so we can spend time with our families. You do the same. That way, wrestling usually slows down around that time too anyways. Nothing crazy happens. So we'll figure it out. But that's the rough schedule of the Scoop Slam podcast. And then, actually, let me take that back.
Oh.
Our end of the year awards will come out the week of the 17th.
Highly anticipated.
Yeah. So only 2 weeks of watch alongs. We'll miss Christmas week. We'll miss the 1st of January. Other than that, business as usual. And I think it's going to be good. We're hopefully back in the saddle now that my schedule's adjusted, Ryan's schedule's adjusted. And everything should be smooth sailing, at least for the next couple months. But we appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure check out our social media pages at Scoop Slam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, whatever you got. Go follow us there. Get exclusive updates. If we're not recording some weeks, I'll put it on there and let you know. Make sure to leave us some comments, some likes, maybe what you want to hear on the podcast. scoopslam@gmail.com. You can give us suggestions, send us trivia. I would love to start doing fan-submitted trivia. That'd be great. Anything like that, cool with us. Make sure to come back next week. We're going to do our weekly review. And somewhere in the next couple weeks, we'll have Full Gear as well. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.